A date for Port Waikato's by-election is set, calls to ban some pork imports, and more than 100 people held hostage by Hamas. Kia ora, I'm Wilhelmina Trimpton and these are your latest NZ Herald headlines. A by-election for Port Waikato will be held at the end of November. It's been triggered by the death of ACT candidate Neil Christensen and required by the Electoral Act. Prime Minister Chris Hipkins says he's consulted with other parties and says the earliest date possible will be best.
The official advice that I received was that the earliest the Electoral Commission believe they can do it is Saturday the 25th of November, and so I've approved it on that basis.
National is promising to double the value of exports in 10 years if elected. It's vowing to pursue free trade agreements and increase trade missions with a focus on India. Spokesperson Todd McClay says strengthening international connections is one of 6 key drivers they've identified to rebuild the economy and bring down the cost of living. Our pork sector wants to ban imports from countries with African swine fever. The highly contagious disease doesn't harm humans but can decimate pig populations. Affected countries include China, Belgium, Germany, Poland and Sweden. NZ Pork Chief Executive Brent Kleiss says it's a relatively small sector, but an outbreak here would have a huge impact.
We don't export the same way that other livestock industries do. However, I'm sure people would be quite upset if they didn't have bacon or couldn't access your Sunday roast.
The Privacy Commissioner has laid out advice for schools wanting CCTV cameras in bathrooms. Schools have been working on ways to deal with vaping and bullying in school toilets. But there are concerns cameras are making school kids uncomfortable and anxious. Privacy Commissioner Michael Webster says there are steps schools can take.
That they have clear signage in place if they install it. Cameras should be focused away from intimate activities, limiting the collection of what they're getting on the film, limiting who can see it.
To World News Now, and Hamas says it's holding more than 100 people hostage and is threatening to kill them with each airstrike on Gaza. At least 900 people have died in Israel since the Palestinian military group began its attack, and just under 700 have died in retaliatory strikes on Gaza. Leaders of the US, UK, France, Germany and Italy have jointly condemned the attack. At least 11 Americans have died. In a translation, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says their hearts are with people whose loved ones have been abducted or killed.
We are all sharing this true and honest thing. This is the deepest thing that connects us together. Together we will overcome and together we will win. Only together.
And those are the latest NZ Herald headlines. For more news worth knowing, head to nzherald.co.nz.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.